Jai Hind everyone. I am Shraddha Mishra, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today, in our series of cybersecurity, our next topic is Unit 4, which is Understanding Computer Forensics. So, forensic basically means that we are trying to delve into detail and decipher that what was your backtracking and trying to decipher the source of the crime or the malice. Now here, understanding computer forensic. What do you understand by computer forensic? It's a scientific method of investigation and analysis in order to gather evidence from digital devices or computer networks and components which is suitable for presentation in a court of law or legal body. So computer forensic means you are doing forensic or investigation of those entities and evidence which you can even produce in court of law. And if it is related to computer, then it is computer forensic. So, for example, there is some crime happened, there was some murder, there was some theft or robbery, and you found somebody's nail or, there's fingerprints taken, there's some hair sample taken, and you try to understand that whose was this sample or something. But computer forensic means it's related to the digital. So, you try to backtrack the digital footprints and understand who the culprit was. Now, types of computer forensic: disk forensic, network forensic, database forensic, malware forensic, email forensic, memory, and mobile phone forensic. So, disk forensic means there's some hard copy, there's some hard disk, there's some floppy drive or this pen drive, and you are trying to decipher that whose was this content or what was the files related, and you're trying to fetch those data. Network forensic means it's a sub branch of computer forensic which involves monitoring and analyzing the computer network traffic. Database forensic means it deals with the study and examination of databases and the related metadata. Malware related to virus worms. Email means, for example, deleted certain emails and they were from a suspicious party, so we will backtrack who was the actual sender of that email. So that is what email forensic. Digital forensic science. Digital forensic, it's a branch of forensic science which includes the identification, collection, analysis and reporting. So means digital forensic is a branch of forensic science, but it includes identification, you identify who has done the crime, collection, analysis and reporting of any valuable digital information in the digital devices related to computer crimes as part of the investigation. So digital forensic is a process of identifying, preserving, analyzing and presenting digital evidence. How to work digital forensic science: identification of evidence, collection, analysis, documentation, and then finally present it. Identification of evidence. It includes identifying evidence related to the digital crime in storage media. Collection. It includes preserving the digital evidence identified in the first step so that they don't degrade to vanish with time. Analysis. You analyze the collected digital evidence, right? So that you can trace the criminal and you add possible paths used to breach into the system. Documentation, whatever investigation we have done and the conclusions we have, we are going to decipher the main culprit using that and document it so that in any court of law you can produce it also. So it includes the proper documentation of the whole digital investigation, digital evidence, loopholes of the attack system, etc., so that the case can be studied and analyzed in future also and can be presented in court in proper format. Presentation. It includes a presentation of all the digital evidence and documentation in the court in order to prove digital crime committed and identify criminals. Now let's understand the branches of digital forensic science. Media forensics, cyber forensic, mobile forensic and software forensic. Media forensic means digital forensic which deals with identification, collection, analysis and presentation, which we call as ICAP. Identification, which we call as ICAP. So digital forensic science is actually related to ICAP. ICAP means identification, collection, analysis and presentation of audio, video and image evidence during the investigation process. Cyber forensic means it's that branch which includes ICAP of digital evidence during investigation of cyber crime. Okay, then is mobile forensic. It is that digital evidence which is there during investigation of crime committed through a mobile phone. For example, there was some drug trafficking or some drug communications done using mobile phone, WhatsApp chat. So that mobile phone is secured and all this investigation is done. Software forensic, it's the branch of digital forensic which includes ICAP of digital evidence during the investigation of a crime related to softwares only. There was some software using which crime was done and we are trying to decipher information using that. Then there's cyber forensic. Cyber forensic, it's a process of extracting data as proof for a crime which involves electronic devices while following proper investigation rules to nab the culprit by presenting the evidence to the court. It can recover related file, chat logs, email, etc. It can also get deleted emails. It can get recorded audio phone conversation. It can determine which user used which system and for how much time. It can identify which user ran which program. What is digital evidence? The term digital evidence means the information that is transmitted and stored in binary form. It can be found in hard disks, mobile phones, etc. It can be used for prosecution of various crimes but is generally associated with e-crime. Digital evidence is described as information and data kept on, received from, or transferred by an electronic device which is useful to investigate. Digital proof. Similar to fingerprints or DNA evidence, it's latent, which is hidden. Process involved in digital evidence collection. Data collection. You collect the data, you examine it, examination, analysis, and reporting. Right? Then when you report it, so you can see there's media, there's data, information, and evidence. So in digital evidence, first you collect the data. Right? You went in there was a site where this crime was done, maybe using phone or using laptop. So you first collect that data. Then we examine that data. We analyze it and finally we report it. Forensic analysis of email. Email forensics involves the systematic examination and analysis of email data to gather evidence for investigation or for legal purposes. First is collection of email evidence. Metadata extraction. Collect metadata including sender and recipient details, timestamp and email server information, email headers. Examine email headers for routing information and details about the email's journey, attachments and content. Process involved digital evidence collection, preservation of email evidence, original email preservation, chain of custody. Document and maintain a secure chain of custody to track the handling of email evidence. Process of digital evidence collection. Email analysis techniques. Keyword search. So conduct keyword searches to identify relevant information within email content. Link analysis. Try to understand what is a link. Timeline reconstruction. Content analysis. Then is authentication and verification. Email source verification. Sender authentication. Investigation of email attachments. Malware analysis. File metadata examination. Email header analysis. Recovering deleted emails, reporting. So these are the processes which are involved in digital evidence collection. So this is what we call as ICADP. Now what is ICADP? So digital evidence license is really very important. It is very often asked in exam. So digital evidence life cycle means ICADP. Means identification of evidence. First you identify digital evidence life cycle. You have a digital evidence. Now how will you way forward? For example, you saw a WhatsApp chat that there was this, these are the people involved in this drug trafficking or this process and everything. Now you want to really understand the entire chain and document it and use it as a proof. There are certain steps you follow. First is identification of evidence. You'll understand, okay, these are the people, I've often seen them, something fishy or something, they must be hiding. So let's try to grab their phone and get some information. You found, yeah, right, that yes, you had guessed it right. They were the culprit. Okay, they were involved in something malicious. Now, you've identified the evidence. Now you have collected it. Then you will analyze it. Okay, these were the WhatsApp. Let's analyze who all else are involved. You'll document it. Okay, these were the people involved. Okay, from this date, this transaction happened, all of it. Then you present. Then when in court, evidence is required, you'll present the entire data. So, the digital forensic life cycle consists of a series of systematic seven processes aimed at identifying, collecting, analyzing, and preserving digital evidence in a forensically sound manner. Chain of custody concept in digital forensics. As the word says, it's a sequence of control, chain of custody. What do you mean by custody? You take somebody under arrest and you try to question them. Chain means one person has pointed to the other person, other to the other. There's an entire chain of custody which is done here. So the chain of custody in digital cyber forensic is also known as the paper trail of forensic link, chronological documentation of the evidence. Chain of custody indicates the collection, sequence of control, transfer, and analysis. It also documents details of each person who handled the evidence, date and time it was collected, transferred, and the purpose of the transfer. It demonstrates trust to the courts and to the client that the evidence is not tampered. Chain of custody process. Data collection. Here you identify, label, record, and acquisition of data from all the possible relevant sources that preserve the integrity of data and evidence collected. So from all the possible places, we try to collect the data. Next is examination. During this process, chain of custody information is documented, outlining the forensic process undertaken. So it's important to capture screenshots throughout the process to show that the tasks that are completed in the evidence uncovered. So examination is you take the screenshots and you examine it. You join the dots between this party, that party, this phone, this data, and you try to come to a conclusion. Analysis. This stage is a result of the examination stage. In the analysis stage, legally justifiable methods and techniques are used to derive useful information to address questions posed in this particular case. Reporting. This is the documentation phase of the examination and analysis stage. Reporting includes the following: statement regarding chain of custody, explanation of the various tools used, a description of the analysis of various data sources, issues identified, vulnerabilities identified. Network forensics. Network forensic is a subcategory of digital forensics that essentially deals with the examination of the network and its traffic going across a network that's suspended to be involved in malicious activities. As the internet grew, cyber crimes also grew along with it. Process involving network forensics. Again, identification. Investigators identify and evaluate incidents based on network pointers. Safeguarding in this process, the investigators preserve and secure the data so that the tampering can be prevented. Accumulation. In this step, a detailed report of the crime scene is documented and all the collected digital threads of evidence are duplicated. Observation, investigation, and documentation. Approaching a computer forensics investigation. So how will you approach a computer forensic investigation? The phases are: secure the subject system, take a copy of hard drive or disk, identify, recover all files, access, view the file. Steps involved: first, to prepare for forensic examination, you talk to key people, you assemble tools, collect data from target media. We use a write blocking tool while performing imaging of the disk. Check emails records. 2, while collecting evidence, examine the collected evidence on the image that is created, analyze the evidence, report your finding to your client. Challenges in computer forensic. Data encryption. Many times you can see that the data is encrypted. Data destruction. People try to wipe the digital footprints as well. The technology is so evolved. Data storage. The sheer amount of data which can be stored in modern digital evidence can make it difficult for forensic investigators to locate relevant information. Okay, so these are the challenges which are used in computer forensics. Encryption can make it difficult to access the data on device or network, making it harder for forensic investigators to collect evidence. This can require specialized decryption tools and techniques. Data destruction. Criminals may attempt to destroy digital evidence by wiping or destroying devices. This can require specialized data recovery techniques. Data storage. The sheer amount of data that can be stored on modern digital devices can make it difficult for forensic investigators to locate relevant information. General steps which are involved in computer forensic cases. First, we prepare for the forensic examination. We talk to key people about the case and what you are looking for. Start assembling tools to collect the data and identify the target media. Collect the data from the target media. Use a write blocking tool while performing imaging of the disk. Check email records too while collecting evidence. Examine the collected evidence of the image that's created. Analyze the evidence. Report your finding to your client. So how you approach a computer forensics investigation? The phases in a computer forensic investigation are: secure the computer or the subject system. Take a copy of hard drive or disk. Identify and recover all files. Access, view, copy, hidden, protected, and temp files. Study special areas on the drive. Investigate the settings and any data from programs on the system. Consider the system from various perspectives. Create detailed report containing assessment of the data and information collected. So yes, challenges in computer forensics and now. So thank you so much everyone. Hope you liked it. Have a wonderful day.